We're on our way. We just walked from, we're actually still walking from the harbor, from the pier to our hotel there. That's the Opera House. Very beautiful.
Hi, so we're here at our meeting place for our Oslo private tour. This is a complex beside the Oslo Central Station. Looking for our tour guide. This is the famous tiger statue. So we're walking towards the opera. This the Oslo Opera is our first stop of the tour. We came from the tiger statue and on our way to the Opera House. We made a brief stop uh, at this fountain called the Sun and Art Fountain, tribute to the Norwegians who migrated to the US. That beautiful structure over there is actually a library which was built in 2022. Nice. That was our ship coming from Copenhagen. And those structures to the right are the saunas. We're going there to the opera. First, we're going to the public library. How do you pronounce this? Dijkman? Dijkman. They're fond of
Double doors.
double doors.
Double swing doors.
Oh, nice. Very modern.
You can check out the roof. It looks like honeycomb.
Yeah.
And this is the area for
So it's a multi-floor library, different sections on each floor. Very beautiful structure, wide selection of books. This is a library where you can hang out and eat. There are meeting nooks over there. So, people eating, working, studying. Very nice. And our guide will show us a spot where you can have a great view of the opera. The opera is actually there, corner, but the blinds are down because it's sunny. Nice. Oslo Opera House. So our guide informed us that the Opera House opened in 2008, won a number of awards for its architecture, inspired by an iceberg, but actually also by mountains because it's inclined. To go up, you have to hike, and then inside there's oak wood to combine both warmth and the low temperature of icebergs. Another view of the Opera House. And beside the Opera House, with the name Munch, but it's actually Monk, the topmost floors, the 5 floors, are actually a museum. We're going that way, that direction. Due to the orientation of the building, it's like bowing to the people looking, facing the building.
Because everyone. Monk was born in 1863 to a Norwegian father
Monk
and a
Albert
Norwegian
Monk.
mother Laura and father Christian Monk, who was a military doctor in Aarhus Fortress, which is on the other side of the city, like on the other side near Nobel Peace Prize Center. We're gonna go there. Two of the mother.
So we learned from our guide that Heli Hansen is actually a Norwegian brand. We have this in the Philippines. Karl Johan's Gate, exploring different shops, and we're going to one of the more famous churches here in Oslo. So we're going to this church, Oslo Church.
Church, and this church is from 17th century. So the clock is the oldest clock, oldest working clock in Oslo. Right? It's installed here in 17th century. So we called it the Oslo Domkirke and the Our Savior Church, because in 1629 Oslo got a huge fire in which entire city got burned down and the church got destroyed. And later on, the king of the Norway built another church, and that also survived for like 50 years and got destroyed in another fire. Oh, wow. So they made this church, and which is called Our Savior's Church and third cathedral in the city of Oslo.
Very nice street for shopping.
Never go
We
back
saw
and
Prada, we saw
they don't make
Louis Vuitton, Boss, Lululemon, Fjallraven, Swatch over there. So if you're in Oslo, this is the place to go shopping. So this is the Norwegian Parliament here. We're going to the front side later.
we have Prime Minister of Norway and then we have tea.
That's the front portion of the Parliament. It's the Parliament complex. Nice. Very nice area. Parliament complex. We're headed to the Royal Palace. Nice. So that's the National Theatre of Norway. Nice building.
So your friend is Norwegian or he's from
Filipino.
This building used to be part of the University of Oslo. It's still part of the university, but it's not being used for education purposes anymore. And our guide told us that University of Oslo is one of the more famous in the world. Very nice stretch of historic buildings. This is the library, and that over there at the end is the Royal Palace. We're headed there. So that's the Royal Palace over there.
In 1825, King Carl Johan, the one who's sitting on this beautiful horse statue. The street is named after him.
So that building over there is part of the University of Oslo. This building over here is the Nobel Peace Center. And the building beside that is the National Museum. Everything is close to the body of water over there. A port, a harbor.
It's don't have much. Like it's just.
What's the name of the castle again? Sorry.
Aarhus.
Aarhus.
Maybe when you read it in English language, then it is Akerhus, but the K is silent, so we call it Aarhus Fortress.
Aarhus Fortress.
In
Inspiration
Oslo,
for
and
the
it is
castle of
made
Esla in Frozen.
Neoclassical architecture and from the medieval architecture form.
So that ends our short tour of Oslo. We have many reasons to come back to this city. Very clean, quiet yet vibrant. Very nice city. Till then, till our next destination.